Good day, everybody. Welcome to what is a resurgence, a recovery, a new season of the SRL Season 8 TCR League, coming to you live in a recorded fashion. We have a big field tonight. 27 cars will be taken to the track. As you see, qualifying is hustle and the bustle straight out of the pit lane as everyone is out on track very quickly here. And while everyone gets into the groove of qualifying, we will be able to go through the runners and riders, what is going on, what is not going on within SRL this season. So this season sees the return of the finest TCR drivers around. You will see lots of new faces, you will see lots of old faces, and the same stuff will always be present, which is good, safe, clean racing, as well as the fastest guys around. Now, what does it have in store for you guys watching at home? Well, let's have a look at how it's going to be classed this season. As always, there's going to be different classes of drivers. There you go. That's how the runners and riders are looking for this season. A lot of new names that you're going to see that you don't familiar with, and a lot of people that you may be familiar with as well. Last season's champions are all returning to defend their titles or improve on their titles. Last season's pro champion Adam Delmont is returning. He's got a point to prove, no doubt, and show that he can go 2 for 2. Pro-Am, the winner last season was Neil Stevenson. He's still there, so he is looking to defend his Pro-Am title, and certainly will always be one of the favourites, even after a little bit of time out. Last year's AM champion, which is Kev Aylett, is not in the AM division. He is moved up to the Pro-Ams, so can he cause a few feathers to be rustled as well and contend for a new championship? In the AMs, we've got a few regular faces and a few new faces. Who can be the first time champion in the AM division this season? So there are your names that you expect to see on track. 27 of those names are out there today. It is warm and balmy and hot in the UK, which basically means everyone is going to be sweating it out hard. I think it was touching 30 degrees on race day here, so survival on the track as well as survival of the fittest. Who's it going to be for? So qualifying is underway. At the moment, we've got, let's have a look at some times. No real time's been set as of yet, which is always fine. That's not a problem. So we'll see how it transpires as the session plays out. It's Team Championship this season as well. We'll run through that for you guys, just so you know who the runners and riders for your team championships are. Which means I'm going to rearrange all my monitors, all my screens, and all my thumbnails, and all that stuff that goes with it. Next Gen Green is one of the teams out there. It's Adam Delmont and Lewis Delmont. We've got one of the 3 Just an Average Sim Racer teams next, which is the JAS Vroom teams. Let's see if I can do it a bit fancy and do it by livery. So at the moment it's the Next Gen Green that you can see on track, which is there. That one is Adam Delmont. Next team we're going to showcase here is Just an Average Sim Racer Vroom, which is speared by Cooper Akers and Neil Stevenson in Velosters this season. Unfortunately, it's not them two on track together there. That's one team and another team. We've got the Altitude Esports of Arthur Fertile. Here he is, coming over the fog down the back straight here at Okayama. And here's Veloster. We've got the SRL Green Team, the ever-present self-named after the league, because they're the boys that run the league. John Brown and Daniel Lewis. They are on track in the SRL Greens, both in Audis tonight. I did hear through the grapevine that John Brown may have chosen the wrong car. That is to be confirmed. got for just another sim racer tryhards, which is the next one up, which is Kev Aylett and Tom Woodcock. There's Tom Woodcock's car number 69, as he comes through the gloom himself there. Both running Civics this season. Blade Designs by Deck Crowver. He's in his Audi. He is paired up with Stuart Gibbons, who unfortunately is not out on track tonight. So it'll be a solo effort from Deck tonight. We've got North Sim Racing of Gabriele Bonsacorsi. Sorry, Bonacorsi. I can not say his name correctly because typical Brit. So here's Gabriele Bonacorsi. He's out in his Civic, and he's representing North Sim Racing. Next one up is just an average sim racer, Paul Hurley and Matthew Downs in the Pretenders team name for those guys. One Velo and one Civic. And there is Paul's Civic. Lumen Motorsports, brought to you by Luke Jones and Scott Malcolm. Just Luke Jones out on track today. And ironically, can't find his livery. There we go. Here he is, Luke Jones. You can see him there. Ironically running with one of the JAS cars there. Luke is quite new to the league as well, but very familiar with officials and leagues, so he'd be keen to prove a point, and probably one of the favourites for the Pro-Ams, you might say. Moving on to Knock Racing of Nick Scotney, newcomer to the league. Let's see what he can do there in his Honda Civic. Self-titled team of himself. Very keen to show what he is capable of. Jesus Alacon and JM Gomez. Just Jesus out on track today in the ADXE sports car. They'll be very keen to put some good numbers down there. Some big I rating between them. So certainly favourites for individual and team, you would say. One of the favourites for that championship. And then we've got Blade Designs 2 out on track today, which is Chris Barnes and Ethan Turner, who is not here, but Chris Barnes is. Just struggling to find Chris Barnes on the list of names as it scrolls around. Left, right and centre. And there he is. He's in pit road. Making that car look beautiful and shiny. That's why I couldn't find him. So lots going out on track. Busy. Adam Delmont has just done a 37.87 as his fastest time. So he's looking pretty good there. Currently we've got in placements. Let's see what I can find in terms of times. We've got Adam Delmont in pole with a 37.87. We've got Logan McKenzie with a 38.08. Arthur Fertel with a 38.09. It's looking pretty hot. We've got 8 minutes gone with 7 minutes to go. Plenty to go on at the moment. 2 cars in pit lane, just cycling through, or had enough. Fraser Elfit's coming in. Let's ride on board with Mr. Adam Delmont. See what we can muscle up on there. Let's find a cockpit camera for him. There we go. Let's ride on board as he comes through the first part of his lap. Currently following very closely Jesus Alacon, who gets out of the way. Adam's done 5 laps out on track so far. A good 0.11 gap to the guy behind, but our first one has closed that gap to a 37.98 as the cars run round. Down the back straight towards the corner, that is appropriately called hairpin. Does exactly what it says on the tin. See how Adam takes this as the fastest man currently on track. Down through the gears, hugs the inside apex, and gets on the throttle nice and early. Then you got this left-hander, which is Revolver, and then down into Piper. 2 tricky corners, both a little bit off camber. So very easy to slide the car right, so you want to keep as much traction through the wheels as possible while not understeering off the track. Down into Redman, which is this left-hander uphill, again, slight of camber. Then a right-hander, which is Hobbs. Really loops back on itself, patience all the way through. Get on as early as you dare. And Adam is going to stand us up and go straight into the pit lane. Thank you, Adam. Arthur Fertile, let's see what he can improve on his lap as he comes over the line to do that one, which was a... didn't update the time, I think that was probably just a dead lap. Yeah. So we've currently got 5 minutes remaining of quali. It is filtering through. Dan Mould has just been usurped by Logan McKinsey by 2 thousandths of a second. It's very, very tight between those two. 38.02 and 38.04. We've got Gabriele Bonacossi in 5th place, currently on a 38.17. He's followed hard by Neil Stevenson in a 38.22. And Jesus Alacon and Matthew Downs is 38.34. Jay Corley 39.13, so there's a good 8/10 difference there on the last laps. But between Neil Stevenson, Jesus Alacon, Matthew Downs, Jay Corley, and Tony Walker, you were looking at a 10th and a half. It is a tight field. All the way down to, say, 24th, 25th, we've got just about 2 seconds. And between 1st and 23rd, it's just 1 second. It is a tight field all the way through. We're just riding on board now with Arthur. Now let's go back onto exciting. We jump back into Logan McKenzie. Dan Moulder's in pit lane, so probably not going to improve on his time. What is Logan on a hot lap? I don't think he is. He's showing us down in his sectors right now. So we won't see an improvement on this one. I don't feel anyway. We jump back on board with Lewis Delmont. Currently running 15th with his best of 38.62. We have got 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of this session. Just hunted down there. Car number 16 of Neil Stevenson to get a nice bit of draft there. Can that improve his time? Neil Stevenson dropped down to 8th place, I think. Nope, still 7th. Jay Corley's jumped up to 6th place. So he's improved by a 10th to go to 38.18. Great lap there from Jay to come into 6th place. 2 minutes and 20. So just about time now for drivers to start putting in their last laps. So I'm just going to see if I can spot where people are. So everyone's due to start our last lap. We've got 2 minutes to go. Who is close to ending their laps? Arthur's close to finishing one. I reckon Arthur will go for it on the last one. Everyone else is about a bit of a way, so we've got to just jump aboard with Arthur. He's due to start another lap. Should have enough time to get round. We say. Might not. Might not make it. No, he's not. No, that's him. That's him done. Okay, so who's on a lap? That's looking good. No one's green. Darren's green. We've got JB Dejay green at the moment. Jump on board with JB. Can he improve on his 16th place at the moment? There's not many greens flying up. A lot of reds on the intervals and splits. And JP's gone down pit road. Everyone's laying me down. So, green for his own time, but not green to improve. Gabrielle is coming around what looks like the last corner. Yep. No, it wasn't. Sorry. Nowhere near the last corner. It was actually around the first corner, so he is not on a lap himself. So yeah, a few checking flags anyway. So a bit of an anticlimax to the qualifying. Good times going in early. The track conditions are pretty tricky out there. It is 27.2. Track temperature, but the humidity is high. It's about almost 100% humidity, so it is slightly slippy. It's going to challenge the drivers, especially not to overwork the tyres and overheat them, because you can do that even if it is slippy. To keep in traction points and everything else is imperative, they would say. Okay. just watching everyone go around. Everyone's in the pit lane. A few cars parked askew. So it looks like qualifying is coming to a natural end there. And that is qualifying over and done with. Okay. So, let's run through your runners and riders for the grid, which will be starting the next heat very, very, very soon. Okay. Let's get going with our new fancy grid.
Join the grid.
As the grid starts to form up. In pole, we've got Adam Dalmont of Next Gen Green with second place Arthur Fertel of Altitude Esports. Third place, Logan McKinsey is there, nice and quick with a 37.99, so was his best time overall, but not fast enough for pole because it was dirty. Dan Mouldy, fourth place. From the UK there, Gabrielle Bonnacorsi in fifth place of North Sim Racing. Sixth place, Jay Corley. Good to see what he can do on his return to the SRL. Seventh place, another new name of Jesus Alacon of ADX Esports. Eighth place, the first of the just average sim racing cars of JS Vroom, Neil Stevenson. Ninth place, another JAS car of Matty Downs of the Pretenders. Inter-team rivalries happening on the start. The first of the SRL Greens of John Brown, leading them away there in 10th place. 11th place, Tony Walker, showing what everyone he can do. Certainly quick. Can he move up from 11th place there? But he'll be chased hard down in 12th by Fraser Elphick in his Veloster. 13th place sees another JAS car of JS Vroom of Cooper Acres. Can he go and support Neil Stevenson with a few places further back there? 14th place, we've got Daniel Lewis of SRL Green. He'll be keen to support John Brown also. Lewis Delmont of a second Next Gen Green brings it in 15th from qualifying. But JB Dejoux, can the wise, experienced veteran show him how to get a good start off the line. 17th sees newcomer Mikołaj Paszek from Poland. Very keen to see what he can do there with his overall speeds. Dick Crowther of Blade Designs 18th place. And Luke Jones of another new name in 19th place from Lumen Motorsports. Tom Woodcock of JS Tryhards in 20th place. A little bit down on what he would expect. He hasn't raced for a while, so he'll be keen to make some quick progress with, but he will be hard chased by Craig Walters. He loves to race, he loves to get into the action, and loves to see what happens and gets on with that from there. Jack Davies in 22nd, keen to make an impression from the LOA bunch of lads in their own league. And 23rd place is Kev Aylett, also of a JS and average sim racer tryhards, keen to make progress. 24th, Paul Hurley, looking to follow his teammates through the grid. Can he stay in a slipstream? Be keen to see. Nick Scottney on his debut starts in 25th. Chris Barnes, a little bit down on where he'll probably like to be of the Blade Designs 2 car, but definitely can make progress in 26th. And finishing off the grid there in 27th place is Darren Saunders in his first ever league race on iRacing. So a big shout out to him, and hopefully he can progress nicely from there. That's our grid. That's our runners and riders. We're just waiting for everyone to form up and get started. As always, there's always something going on. And we'll go from there, really. We just get ready to go here at Okayama for round 1 of the SRL Season 8. So we've got a few runners and riders. Currently, we're not going to be able to show on track the pro license, guys. This is just due to a slight technical error on the divisions between the pro, the pro-am, and the AMs. I'll try and keep you up to date with that where possible. Everyone is scored individually, so there's no division for pro, division for pro-am, and division for am to score points differently. It is all a single scoring system. And the same for the teams as well. So it's all important that runs as is. Okay, we're just going to wait for the crescendo of touring cars to get us underway. A sip of a drink. So I wet the whistle, because there's one thing about these SRL races. They certainly do attract excitement and carnage. But in a good way, because it means people are pushing hard as well. They're not designed to be carnage-filled. They certainly can tell a story. And let's see what stories can come out of this, because I look at through the pros and think who could claim the outright championship this season. And Delmont sticks out, Fertile sticks out, McKinsey sticks out, Dan Mould is also there. You've got the unknowns of Gabrielle and Jesus. Those players, the lights are revving up now. They're going to go green any second. And away they go. The green flag flies from Barney. And all the cars pull off the grid nice and cleanly there. We're going to get a good run down. A few wide there. They all stream into the first corner. There's lots of action. The car's going through 2 wide through the field. There's a spin there in the middle there. That's car number 9. That's Matt Downs. Oh, and he's connected by Fertz. And there's another JS car for the background. I think that's Paul Hurley. Oh, carnage on the first corner there. We will go back and check that out in a short second. As we watch the action stream down to the Atwood curve. Currently no change in the top 4. We've got Adam Delmont, Fertile, McKinsey, Mould, Gabrielle, Jesus, Jay, Neil Stevenson, John Brown, Tony Walker, Dan Lewis, all down to the hairpin. Will there be any action in the hairpin there? We're going to have to go back and check what happened on that first corner. But certainly a few cars came together, and possible teammates might have come together as well. We're on board with Gabrielle there. As the cars are run down. See if any of their actions coming up. FL's looks pretty good. A couple of passes, but there's always going to be a bit close racing to see what comes around as the cars come around to complete the first lap of the race. Adam Delmont brings them along. Delmont, Fertile, McKinsey, Mould, Bonacorsi, Alacon, Corley, Stevenson, John Brown, and Tony Walker wrap out your top 10. Big move of Lewis Delmont up 4 places on the first lap from 15th to 11th. Davey Dejoux has lost 4 places. Scotty gained 4 places, and Darren Saunders gained 5. But let's go back and see what happened with that first lap incident on turn 1. You know, all starting from Matty Downs getting a shove around. We'll just have a look. Yeah, it's like he had a really connected there, didn't he? This is what you get from a different angle to come around the top. Oh. Yeah, that's carnage, isn't it? That is this. And then just that little tap. Oh, a couple of taps there. And then, oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Bless him. Alright. We come back to the start there. Cars entering pit lane. Back on board with Delmont. They run down to the start-finish line. Delmont's still holding well there. We're 1.68 laps in. No other incidents have happened so far. Let's see if there's any good close actually going on here. On board with Dan Lewis. And me being a numpty has left the replay graphic on. Let's do that one. Okay, so let's see what comes there. The most exciting that was someone's running off track, I think. I'm not sure. Too wide here into the first corner. On board with Mikulash and Dan Mould going through the gravel. We didn't quite see that overtake, but it's still too wide back there. Here we go. Back on board. There's lots of action going on. Who do we stick with? Come on, iRacing. Most exciting. Let's stay on board with Cooper here for a second. He's giving John Brown a little work over here on the rear. Can John hold his line there? Cooper in an unfamiliar car, which is the Velo. They run down to Revolver. Little hairpin men Revolver. Cooper looking out wide, looking to take the inside line on John Brown. He's deep on the brakes there. Good move from Cooper. Holds the line well. Does he make it round? John Brown's going to come back at him into his reverse left-hander, but he made the move stick. What a good move there by Cooper Akers. And I got completely the name wrong of who was battling. That was against Dan Lewis, sorry. Because there was two cars that were battling each other at the same time, which was Neil Stevenson and John Brown, which was that battle there. Always something going on, which you've got similarly coloured cars everywhere. Okay, so come back to the leaders. Logan McKenzie, he is right on the tail of Adam Delmont. We did miss an overtake somewhere. Unfortunately, it's not giving me the information through SDK when that overtake happened. So apologies for that. We have missed that one.
Speed.
We'll try and keep on top of that for you. So if we've got any other good close gaps there, go back to John Brown. There's a bit of a gap happening there between him and Neil Stevenson. Cooper Akers gapped Dan Lewis there. Dan Lewis is down under pressure from Mikulash Pashek. Can they do something there? Let's look further down. Deck Crowther. He's in the hunt there with Luke Jones. He's trying to make a move on Mikulash as well. The cars are certainly spread out. Drop back a bit further to Kev Aylett. Can he make an impression there? He's got Tom Woodcock, his teammate, right behind him on track. Kev and Luke Jones know each other very well from the official series. So let's see, hopefully, those battles there. Back to the leaders. What's going on here? Arthur is holding a slender lead of just 0.7 seconds to Adam Delmont. Very keen to get back onto level ground there. Logan following very closely by Dan Mould. You've got Gabrielle Bonacorsi right behind Dan Mould. Hayes is just trying to get up there with Jay Corley. It's all tight. It's all very tight. So if we look back further back down, back onto Kevin. He's hunting down Luke Jones. Hopefully we'll get some. Oh, we've lost a car. Unfortunately. We've lost Fraser Elphick. Let's see what that one was about. Oh, bit of a chap there. There's Mikulash Pasek. Oh, and a bit of rear damage there, unfortunately, from Fraser Elphick. That would be a shame for him. And we've got incident here for Jesus as well. We're following up the replays. A little off track there, that doesn't recount. Back on board. Standings not quite updated themselves yet, not playing ball. That's okay. They'll be back in a second. Our first always 0.3 ahead of Delmont. These 5 fast guys are all in a train. Who is going to ride that train to glory come the end of Heat 1? 11 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. Let's see if we've got any other action going on track elsewhere. Now, these guys are apparently the most exciting. Neil Stevenson and John Brown are very close together again, with Tony Walker hunting them down. Can John make a move into hairpin? Not quite on this occasion. Kevin's got past Luke Jones. That would have been probably at the upward curve, I'm guessing. Luke Jones has had a moment there coming deep with JB Deju. Let's go back to this who've trying to fight for position. Can they come down to Hobbs and Redmond complex to make something happen? Nearly run into the back of the Solar Lancer in the field of JB Deju. Tom Woodcock, he's going to be sniffing around for some scraps if there's a battle up ahead. Hopefully he can make it work in his favour. Dick Crowther chased by Mikolaj Pasek there. He'll be keen to hunt down Dan Lewis in another Audi there, but the Audi's a powerful, nice power in the straight line from them. Cooper Akers and Dan Lewis running front and back there. Cooper in JS Vroom. We'll just have a look at what else we've got here. Neil Stevenson and John Brown are exceptionally tight there. They're going too wide here. John's looking for something. Can he get the outbreaking into outward curve? Round the outside? No, Cooper held a really good defensive line, but you can get on the power early here. And the Audi is strong in a straight line. It's going to be reversed. Look at that switchback. Beautifully done there by John Brown. They're now too wide down the back straight. Let's see what happens then. If John Brown's got the leapfrog there, can Cooper get it reversed back under braking? Sorry, not Cooper. Neil Stevenson. A little tap on the rear end. Just to let him know that he's there. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Hopefully nothing too damaged caused by that. But this is good battling here for these boys. It's obviously bringing Tony Walker into the equation. And Lewis Delmont. Good tight racing. Let's go back to the leaders because we're too wide of Logan McKinsey going inside of Adam Delmont. Dan Mould is looking to get interested as well. These guys are all really tight. Gabrielle is also on the back of Mould. Delmont pushing Logan McKinsey almost through that last corner. This is all enabling Arthur Fertile to gain a gap. It's almost a second now between first and second. Can Delmont make the move into turn one? The first corner, we've got too wide behind of Dan Mould and Gabrielle Bonacossi. A little bit of netcode contact there, that's fine, but Dan Mould holding his line. Little check there, door to door. This is Tory car racing. You expect that. Good move from Dan Mould to reclaim the place there. But Gabrielle, we know, is not going to give that place up without a fight as they head down to the outward curve. Nose to tail. Little shimmy there, little feint. But didn't go for the move on the inside. Sensible move. Probably make the run on the open side. That's a good move on the inside of Gabriele. Exchanging a little bit of paint. And they're going to do this all the way down the back straight. Let's jump on board from the chopper. They're too wide. Who is going to break the best? The Honda's normally good. But can that Velo outbrake him? We actually watched the board from the angle of Jesus, who is also sniffing around the back of these two. These two, oh, great move from Mould there. Really, really well done, Mould there. A little bit of a shimmy and a wobble from Gabrielle in front of Jesus. And Jesus comes back on the inside of Gabrielle and makes the move. A mistake punished very well there by Jesus Alacon. And Jay Corley is now in for the battle. This is now a four-car field there. Sorry, four-car little group. It's meant Dan Mould has unfortunately dropped off the back. But we're going to jump back with these guys. It's wanted to stay with these guys, so we're going to jump back into Logan and see how they're doing there. Logan and Delmont. We've got 7 minutes remaining of the race. It is certainly action-packed right now. Unfortunately, the standings has decided to fail midway through this race for some whatever reason. I don't think it liked the replay from earlier on. Let's have a look here. What's going on here? Gabrielle has got back in front of Jesus. We've got Jay Corley also passing Jesus down the back straight. So Jesus got a very poor outward curve as they came down. As the cars rush down to the hairpin corner. We've got Dick Crowther and Daniel Lewis very close together. They are giving Cooper Akers a nice bit of pressure. And Jay Corley just flying a little bit off track there, but not too much. Just testing out the greenery as we go back to deck. There's a good action-packed groups all the way through the field here. It's just keeping an eye on who's doing what. We've got Kevada up 7 places to 16th place. Tom Woodcock up 3 places to 17th. Big movers. Dick Crowther's up 5 from up to 13th place there. Lewis Delmont still maintains those 4 places, so it's all very tight there. We're going to go back to the front. Arthur Fertile has had that gap slowly reeled in. It is now 0.6 difference from 1 second to 0.6 to Logan McKenzie, who has Adam Delmont in very quick exchange there. Dan Mould is just a second back from Adam Delmont, so he's trying to reel that back in himself. I don't know if that fishing line's going to be quite the longest one now for him, unfortunately. He's some big fish to try and catch. John Brown, Neil Stevenson, again, still locked in their battle. They've caught with Jesus there because he had a slightly rough couple of laps. He has dropped off the back of that battle with Jay Coley, Bonner Corsi and Dan Mould. Tony Walker is sniffing around still. We've got a couple of cars going round the back there. We've got Deck and Cooper. Let's have a look at this one. Coming down the back straight. Who is going to have the draft into the hairpin? We will find out. Who's going to be the bravest? Can the Audi go round the outside in the hairpin? Can Cooper hold the defensive line really nicely? And that means brings Dan Lewis back into the battle. And Mikhail Pasek. But sniffing around behind Pasek, you can just see Kev Aylett coming through the corner as well. As people battle, people close. We've got a look. Fertile and McKinsey are still very close together. We're just trying to work out which one do you want to watch. Because there's battles absolutely everywhere, which is great. Okayama is one of those tracks where there's always action. Always action. And you never get bored of watching it. It's a tough track to overtake on, but you can still overtake here. You've just got to be committed and safe. We're going to come back on board here with this battle between Cooper, Akers, Deck Crowther, Dan Lewis and Mikhail Pasek. Mikhail just giving a little faint out of Dan Lewis's mirrors there just to go, I'm here. And probably close the gap a little bit. I think that was a little bit tardy through first corner there. Has left a few gaps. So a little bit of run down towards Atwood. We've got to stay on board of this Deck Crowther and Cooper Akers battle. Just an average sim racer versus Blades. Always a good competitive element to him. Deck's got a really good run out of Atwood, and Cooper instantly takes the defensive line down the back straight. Nice defensive drive again. Cooper knows how to plant his car. Becoming a veteran of the TCRs in officials and ATC, amongst other leagues as well. Certainly appears in quite a few. It's a good racing though. Let's go back to what iRacing thinks is the most exciting. As my fat fingers accidentally hit the roll bar camera. And it joins us straight into John Brown, who apparently is the most exciting driver on track right now. Not long though. Back to this exciting 4-car battle. Now, this is, I think, where it's going to be at. We're looking at 2 minutes remaining on track, if one of my timing screens are correct. I'm hoping so. I'm not too sure. Might be 5 minutes remaining. Pardon the overlay that's going to pop up for 2 seconds, because one screen is showing one screen and one thing is showing a different thing. Which one? Doesn't actually tell me. We're on lap 10. Okay. So, I'm going to go with 4 minutes remaining for you all. The wonders of modern technology. Lou Jones and JB DeJay in their own little trio of a battle where just catched up with Tom Woodcock. He's dropped off his teammate Kev by a bit of a margin in the last few laps there. Mikhail Pasek, Daniel Lewis, Cooper Akers. Deck Crowther has just given back the position to Cooper Akers there, so still battling away back through that back section. So different strengths of his cars really come to fruition. That Audi is good in a straight line and good in the drive out the corner, but the Velo is good in the corners if you get the good speed into the corner and don't lose the back end. It's a tricky one, but it's also very nimble. Arthur Fertel, Logan McKenzie, Adam Delmont, they are all there in a line, 1, 2 and 3 as I go past the first of the lap traffic, which is Chris Barnes. He moves nicely out of the way and lets the field through. There's not much to split between these guys here, I'll be honest. This is going to be tight. We'll hang tight with these boys for a few more laps yet. A few more seconds. We've got Veloster, Honda. In what is a predominantly Honda field, but the Velos, driven in the right pairs of hands, occupy 3 of the top 4 places. And then Honda's the remaining 4 places. So there's a lot of... I'm just going to do a quick count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 Hondas took to the track. So yeah, 1 Elantra. And which means we've probably got about 6 Velosters out there and a few and 4 Audis. JB DJ in the solitary Elantra. Okay, so these boys are pushing each other hard, but not really making any overtakes or moves yet. A little bit wide from Fertel there, so is this tyre starting to feel some punishment from stretching that lead early? But Logan and Delmont are certainly keeping it honest and got the pace down. Dan Mulder's just trying to keep in touch. As we flip to this 4-car battle, it's still ongoing between Cooper, Crowther, Lewis and Pashek. As they all complete another lap. Just trying to keep an eye on the different timing towers and different screens so we know what's happening at the front there. But we're going to go back now because they're all shimmying around, they're all tight. It's going to come down to bravery. We've got a minute and a half remaining. There's nothing in this at all. Not quite the last lap, I don't think. We'll just check Barney. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Here comes Logan coming out to the right. Arthur's left. Delmont's seen a gap. Sticking his nose in, rubbing alongside the rear quarter there. Nice bit of driving from McKenzie and Delmont. Not to take each other out, but also just to put pressure. As they come round the Piper corner down towards Redmond and Hobbs. Redmond's not the best overtaking, but Hobbs you can do if you get a good switchback and late braking. Hobbs is the right-hander here now as they go through. And coming up to Mike Knight corner, which is the penultimate corner. Don't want to cut it too much. It's easy to get a slowdown there. Down into the last corner. As they run down the pit straight. Here they come. Into the first corner. I think the white flag is waving. Yep, the white flag is being waved now. So yeah, these boys definitely took the white flag. We're gonna go back to the leaders. We're gonna see this one through. And see if Logan can get through against Arthur and Delmont. These guys, obviously, the 3 pros up at the front. Leading Pro-Am at the moment is Neil Stevenson. So he is Tony Walker about half a second behind him, who is also in the Pro-Ams, as is Lewis Delmont, Cooper Akers, Dick Crowther, Dan Lewis. They're all there. They're all fighting hard in that hotly contested middle of the field. Alpha has just gapped a little bit to Logan, which has brought Adam closer to Delmont. Sorry. Adam closer to Logan. Dunmold slowly gained a little bit, but still just hanging off the back there in 4th place. Going Gabriel and Jay Corley, but I was just about to say we don't want to quite not too close on track there, so that's fine. As the boys come round to the penultimate corner of Mike Knight Corner, I think this is going to be the end of the race for these boys. I can't see anyone getting last minute positions here. Pushing hard over the line. Here comes Arthur Fertel flashing the lights for the win in Heat 1. Logan McKenzie second, Adam Delmont in third, Dan Mould in fourth, Gabriel Balacorsi in fifth, Jay Corley in sixth, and Jesus Alicon in seventh. As we go to Neil Stevenson over the line, holding off Tony Walker. Delmont comes home in 11th. Cooper Akers and Deck Crowther side by side over the line, but Cooper got it. Dan Lewis brings home behind Deck, Mikhail Pasek, and then Kev Aylett and Tom Woodcock. JB Deju and Luke Jones were pretty close over the line, but they had a little gap. Nick Scottney and Jack Davies in a group over the line also. We watched Paul Hurley take the final corner. He has got a bit of time to Craig Walters in the second place. There's a bit of a bruised and battered car, that is, of Paul Hurley's, unfortunately, as we watch Craig Walters come over the line. Fraser Welfick is the last man on track right now, I think. We also got Darren Saunders and Matthew Downs just circulating laps down there. So all in all, a very exciting first heat with Arthur Fertel, Logan McKenzie, Adam Delmont taking the top three positions in the pros. Just keep that running. In the pro-ams, just going to refresh myself here. We saw Neil Stevenson take the pro-am win. Just making sure I got it all right. Yep. Followed closely by Tony Walker in second place. And Lewis Delmont taking the podium in the pro-ams. And it's just resets my... it's just reset my standings. Scallywags. Absolute scallywags. Right. So that was an exciting first race there. Absolutely exciting. A lot going on, which is what you want to have. There's going to be a 5-minute warm-up for the drivers just to get out there and warm up if they want to. I don't think we'll see too much, to be honest, of that. But what an exciting race that was in the end. Lots to go, lots to talk about in the after rooms and Discord. Some good fair race, not a lot of incidents. The racing was quick, it was tight, and didn't really cause a lot of calamity, which is always a good thing. We don't want to see that. We're waiting a few minutes for the grid up for race 2, the feature race. 25 minutes, so 5 minutes longer. Slightly, well, it's the same fuel load as the first race, but you know, just got to make sure you're not burning your tyres up too much and the like. What we will do, we're just waiting for that to sort itself out. Everyone just refresh themselves and then I accidentally pressed the wrong button there, like a numpty. Top 15 reverse grid is the order of the day. Just trying to paste that one into there. Yes, I'm going to replace you. And just while everyone is refreshing, I'm just going to set up the grid for the next race. 2.5 minutes remaining of the warm-up. Looks about right, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's talk ourselves through the grid for the feature race, which is coming to you very, very shortly. Okay, so starting on the grid in only his second SRL race, Mikhail Pasek Can he get a good launch off the line there against the fast-charging second-place car of Daniel Lewis of the SRL Green Team? Third place on the grid, we're going to see Deck Crowther, also a fast-starting car. Unfortunately, Deck has never been the fastest starter in the past, but we can see what he can do. Fourth place, Cooper Akers in that Veloster. Again, a new car for him to learn how to start, so hopefully he can get off the line well. And I've automatically got a problem there because it's automatically put the wrong person in. Sixth place, we've got Tony Walker in his Honda. Neil Stevenson, we've got in the Velocivet in 7th. John Brown in 8th. In 9th place, we've got Jesus Alacon. I'm just sorting out the grid for the feature race on my second screen now. So I can easily see that. 9th place, yeah, put that in the right place. 11th place, Gabriel Bonnacorsi. He'll be there. 12th place, Dan Mould. 13th place should be Adam Delmont. There we go. 14th place, Logan McKinsey. And then the final 415 reverse position went to the winner of the first race, Arthur Fertel. 16th place, just missed out on the reverse grid, is Kev Aylett. Hopefully he can do well in that race. And follow the leaders through the grid. 17th on the grid is Tom Woodcock. So the two boys from JS Tryhards again following each other through the track. 18th place for JB DeJay. Keen to make a move from there in his 621 car. The 222 of Luke Jones. He'll be disappointed with that first race. It went backwards. And hopefully race 2 can change that. 20th place is Nick Scotney of Knock Racing. He'll be pretty happy with how that turned out. Kept out of trouble, kept it clean and had some good pace towards the end of the race. And he came home ahead of fellow LOA competitor Jack Davies, who's now starting 21st. Paul Hurley, 22nd. He'll be a little bit disappointed, but due to the first lap carnage, where he was unfortunately collected by his teammates, he starts 22nd. Craig Walters, 23rd. He took a bit of damage also in that turn 1 incident in 23rd, and Fraser Elphick 24th after being spun. Darren Saunders 25th, Matty Downs in 26th after also that lap 1 incident, and then finalising in 27th place we have Chris Barnes. Okay. Just waiting for people to grid up. I'm going to hide that. Does I want to hide it, apparently? There we go. Here's the field. So a bit later in the evening now. Not as humid. 22.8 degrees track temp, so a little bit faster. Will we see those times tumble? Will we go faster than qualifying? Will people show everyone how good they are and make big gains? Here we go. Revs increasing. And off we go from the grid. Oh, has someone gone right off to the left-hand side there?
Watch your speed.
There was carnage there. Not sure what happened there. We'll have to go back and watch that one at the beginning because absolute carnage. I'm just trying to take that in. Someone just veered off to the right. Leading us away, Mikolaj Paszek did lead us away well. Unfortunately, we got a bit of an incident into outward curve, a couple of contacts, a bit of an accordion effect of incidents there. So we've got a few things to go back and have a look at in a moment. Leading the field down is, I'm not sure. We've got some. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. I think for some reason the camera's not quite picking up bits and bobs in the right place. We've got Mikolaj Paszek and Dan Lewis out in front. There we go. I think they were just that far ahead. The camera didn't pick him up properly. They'd already gone past it. Stretching out their lead quite quickly. This is a hotly contested pack there. We've got some drivers up quite a few places already. Kev Elliott's up 6 places to 10th. That Crowther is up there already as well. He started off in a good position. The top 3 of Michelaj past second with 2 ride there with Delmont and Jones. Oh, a few cars running wide there. Oh, that's close to the wall up ahead there. That was the car number 111 from Kev Elliott. He was running close to the barriers to the exit of last corner. Right, we need to have a look at what happened at the beginning. If I can find it. There was a lot of carnage at the beginning there. And I can't see it. I'm just going to have a quick hump back on this one.
Watch your speed.
Here we go. Let's watch this from the top angle here. Oh, yeah. Bit of a drive. Just turned across the front of John Brown there. And that's probably a race-ending crash, that one. Unfortunately. We're going to come back and see what else happened in a second. We had an incident at the... Oh, that's not good. Not sure what happened there. It hasn't given us enough context, unfortunately. No, we're gonna find it. Here we go. I think this might be the precursor of it all. Here we go. So this is an ongoing incident. So this is involving Matt Downs. Runs off to the left edge. Jack Davies gets the tap. All contact. Fraser Elphick, Matt Downs, Darren Saunders. Oh yeah, some big carnage there. That is. Unfortunately, yeah, that was a bit of a wallop. We're just trying to find out what happened here. There we go. This is the second incident on turn 1. Oh no, didn't quite show us what happened, unfortunately. Yeah, fortunately didn't quite catch it. There's a lot going on at that time there. Another angle of it. Yeah, there's a damn mould. Had a shunt into the back of someone there. There we go. This is the final angle of it. Let's just get this one. Yeah, you can see a bit of people missing the braking zone, getting caught up in it, and it became a bit of a problem, unfortunately, as we rejoin back towards the front. Pasek still in the lead. And Daniel Lewis, who's been accustomed to running the front in the official races this last couple of seasons, so he'll be keen to show that talent he's been nurturing. Deck Crowther there, tucked up behind. In 3rd place, just waiting for my timing screen to refresh itself because it's thinking someone else is in the lead because they're towed on the first lap, but that's fine. So as it stands, we've got Pasek, Lewis, Daniel Lewis, Deck Crowther, Cooper Akers, Tony Walker, Bonacorsi is up there as well. He made a good start. We jump back into the field of Jay Corley, currently running in 17th place, side by side with Paul Hurley and Luke. Craig Walters is sniffing around as well. You got Tom Woodcock, Jesus Alacon, Paul Hurley, all battling around in front there. It's all tight. Let's run through our starts here. Mikolas Pacek, Dek Crowther, Daniel Lewis, Cooper Akers, Tony Walker, Gabriel Bonacorsi, Logan McKenzie, Arthur Fertel, Lewis Delmont, John Brown, Kev Aylett, Adam Delmont. I said Lewis Delmont, I said that wrong name. Luke Jones, JB Dejay, Tom Woodcock, Hayes Alicorn, Jay Corley, Paul Hurley, Craig Walters, and Chris Barnes making up the top 20, but the cars are still two abreast. Jostling for position. There's so much actually going on here. We're going to keep it with these guys for now. Just see what transpires. See what. Hopefully, no carnage just happened. A bit of contact there into the back of Luke Jones. That looked like it was Tom Woodcock, who goes up the inside of Jesus as well. There's two wide action away from JB Dejou, looking to move on the inside there and sticks it around the outside of the 111 of Kev Aylett. Does he make it stick? Didn't quite. Will he make it stick around the last two corners? We've got Hayes going on the inside of Luke Jones. Lots of wide runners there. Let's come back outside. Cars going out wide. Look at that. Oi, look. That's some fabulous swerving on a straight line there, people. Let's keep it straight and narrow. I'm not sure who that was. That was Tom Woodcock and Luke Jones and Jesus going side to side there. Jay Corley on the outside, looking to scare himself through. I think Jake was caught up in the early incidents involving Dan Mould and John Brown at Outward Curve. Unfortunately, not been able to bring you on the replay. Still too wide for everybody. Everyone's driving 2x2x2. This is great racing. We've got an incident for Dan Lewis. I think he's had a moment at Outward Curve. He's got a poor run down the straight. Yeah, he's had a moment and got himself a bit off the track. I think so. He's going to try and fight his way back through. Up the inside of Gabriel. Gabriel's going around the outside, keeping his foot pinned. Can Dan Lewis put that Audi where it doesn't belong? Mr. Mikolas Pacek is now overtaking the lead of the race. Still, he's got a good second on Dek Crowther. Logan McKenzie is, and Arthur Fertel are right there. They have made some progress already. Bear in mind they started 15th and 14th. That's Arthur and Logan. And they are already 3rd and 5th. Oh, we got a car gone backwards. That was Dan Lewis falling down the order. It'd be a shame for him. Gets it restarted, gets it back on track. But he is now at the back of the grid. Kevin has moved past Delmont, Lewis Delmont that is, into 10th place. So he's made up 6 places from his start. So maybe taking advantage of following up the boys there. Let's have a look at this one there. So we've got Adam Delmont, John Brown, Kevin Aylett, Lewis Delmont, JB Dejay and Luke Jones all in a row. Is there going to be any action here? Back to what I think is most exciting. Jay Calls. Oh, we've got a couple of cars going to us. Hayes taking a slow line off track. Well, I hope he's not had something, a slowdown or something. There's nothing showing on any of the standings or reports. So he might have something in car. Slightly battered rear end there of Lewis Delmont. See if he has some coming together. We're going to go to John Brown and Kev Aylett. John Brown's got a slightly also worse for rear bumper. That's not going to be helping his stability, I imagine. He's dropping off the back of Adam Delmont a little bit as well. So it's all looking pretty tight. Kevin's slowly eating into that gap of Delmont. Now, Logan McKenzie has just got past Dek Crowther in the last couple of corners. Cooper Akers just trying to keep check there as well. He'll be keen to keep Dek within sights. Everyone rustles up some dust in the background there. Cooper has Arthur Fertel right behind him. And Cooper, can he defend for his life? Velo versus Velo. As we see the Honda of Tony Walker running very nicely there. up in 6th place. Just taking some stock here of what's going on. John Brown and Kevin are still very close there. These two know each other quite well from many seasons of SRL now. We've got a bit of action going on overhead. We've got Cooper Akers with Arthur Fursell going, looking to make a move on the outside of Hairpin. Who's going to make it? Can Arthur make it stick? Cooper showing great defensive, shows him the door, but the left-hander is in Arthur's favour. And moves down the inside, but Cooper is still there. He's still keeping it pinned in. A little bit of contact into Piper. But Arthur Fursell makes it work in his favour. Now Cooper's got Gabrielle and Tony Walker behind him for comfort. Whether or not he gets much comfort from that, I don't know. But Arthur will be looking to head on and get himself down the field. Now Michelaj has got a 2.5 second lead over Logan McKenzie. So can Logan reel that in? And Decker's kept good contact here with Logan, so he's not run away from him. Decker's got the pace. Kevin and John Brown. Here comes Kevin looking to make a move down the home straight. Sticks his wipers on. Who needs flashing lights? Can he make it stick into the first corner? Absolutely, but John Brown had the power of the Audi to come back on the inside. Kev makes the move and makes it stick nicely. Good driving. See what else we got going on there. Everyone else is a big long line. Ooh. John Brown got back against Kev. Kev went wide as we went back away from the camera there. So Kev's got it all to do. Inside comes Lewis Delmont. What a move from Lewis. That was a fabulous overtaking move. Now Kev's going to get the switch back down the straight here. Can he run him hard down to the hairpin corner? And John Brown will be looking in his mirror and going, here we go. We've got people battling. Do not miss your braking points into the hairpin. I think Kev's going to make it stick. Absolutely does. That's experience coming through to the fore. And parks it right in the middle of the apex. Now Kevin will want to get back onto John Brown. And Lewis Delmont runs wide. It will slow you down the gravel here. This is good racing. Good hard racing. It's tight behind with JB DeJoux, Luke Jones and Tom Woodcock all in a line as well. Logan McKenzie has got to get down to 1 second to Michelaj Paszek now. We'll jump back into there in a minute. Some very good close racing going on here. I'm just trying to feel this further down the field where if there's any other close racing. Unfortunately, there's not. This is keeping everyone entertained in the middle of the pack here, though. Tony Walker and Delmont. Let's have a look at how close they are. They are all in the hunt. You've got Cooper, Gabrielle, Adam, and Tony all working their way round. Oh, we got a slow car on the right. Didn't catch it was Darren Saunders. It was peeling off and retiring there. So that was a lapped car just getting out of the way and parking up for the night. Kevin and John Brown, can they do something here? Trying to keep an eye on where we've got battles starting to materialise all over. You can see this train of cars. You've got 2 packs here. Here comes Kev giving the old John Brown switcheroo. Is he going to put him off? Not quite. John's too experienced for that kind of tomfoolery. Still running 11th, 9th and 10th here. Pro versus Pro-Am. Damaged car versus not damaged car. Kevin again looking to show John Brown that he wants to get past. Different lines have been taken there. You can see the different swings. Try and get the different drives out of the corner. This is all very tightly packed here. This is the closest battle on the track right now. And Delmont's not quite making through the field in front of him there. Cooper is doing a fine job of leading that pack of 4 ahead. As we see Jay coming out against Craig Walters and not making it stick, but just letting him know that he's there. And John's got it awfully wide in first corner, and through goes Kev. Now, can Lewis Delmont and JB DeJay take advantage of that? And And can Kev pull away from John Brown? Time will tell. Now Lewis is sniffing around the back of John Brown now as well. Can he make the pressure stick? Oh, and Lewis has gone up the inside as well. They're giving him a nudge. Did John shove it along a bit too soon? We'll never know, because they all came through fair and square. Now Lewis is just held off a little bit. I think John got a better run. And JB DeJ will be attacking Lewis down around the outside of Hairpin. I think Lewis will be sensing that he can make the move and make it stick next time he gets that opportunity. Now then, let's have a look at the front. Logan McKenzie and Mikuláš Pasek are getting very close here. Here we go. Now Logan will be keen to get past quickly. We've got 12 minutes of the race remaining. Deck runs wide. He's been chased by Arthur Fertel now. Cooper Akers still with at the lead of that 4-car train. Adam Delmont did make his way past Gabriel. So can he dispatch Cooper into the next corner or two? He's going to certainly give it a good go. And Kevin's managed to gap John Brown a touch. A couple of attempts. He'll be trying to probably get onto the back of this battle in front now. Which is the Akers, Delmont, Bonacorsi and Walker. As Mr. Delmont gives Cooper a little nudge around the outward curve. He's there, which means Gabriel's going to give Delmont a nudge as well. That's what it's all about. Let's watch it on Chopper Cam as we come down towards the hairpin. Now Delmont's going to make a move and posture his position around the outside of the hairpin corner. Cooper holds the inside line. That's a great bit of defensive driving. It's just fabulous. We're going to stay on this view because we're going to see all the angles. Cooper around the outside of Piper. Delmont holding his line. This is great driving. This is really good. As I head down to the Redmond corner with Hobbs to follow. The left, then the right. Delmont down the inside. Cooper holding the outside. Delmont's just made the move on the inside. We've got to get a bit of contact coming inside. Oh, and Delmont's gone. Oh, he's gone back into Bonacorsi. Oh, well, that was absolutely crazy bit of driving. It went 3 wide in a narrow part of the track, and it looks like Bonacorsi came off worst. Delmont has slipped backwards there, and Tony Walker took advantage of that. Was the only one who didn't go 3 wide out of that foursome. But Bonacorsi has had to go to pit road. He took a good swipe off the swinging pendulum car of Adam Delmont. Let's see if we can get that one. Here we go. You see, Cooper just got the rear end of Adam Delmont there. Got on the brakes. Oh, but that swinging car took a huge hit. It broke his suspension. Yowza. That was a big hit. That was a big, big hit. So here's Mikuláš Pasek as we go into 15 minutes gone. First corner, Logan McKenzie round the outside. Can Logan get through on Pasek? Gonna hold his line. That's a good bit of movement. Look at the way McKenzie turns that car under the brakes. Honda versus Velo, but the Honda's got the pull out the corner there. Down towards the outward curve. Jump on board the gearbox of Mikuláš Pasek. As McKenzie comes out the outside. That's how tight they were. And it looks like McKenzie has got the run, but it's brought Deck Crowther and Arthur Fertel as McKenzie makes the move into the hairpin in the lead. Pasek is still there on the inside, holding its stick. Can McKenzie get the switch? He does, and takes the lead of the race down through the Revolver and Piper complex. Arthur takes through against Deck. Absolutely slipped it through on the inside there to Mr. Fertel. And Fertel holding off Deck on the defensive line, takes it into Redmond. great bit of driving there from everybody as they come into the complex of the last corner. Whoa. Have we held on to our hatch yet, gentlemen? We jump back into another pack. Off goes Adam Delmont. I think he had damage. Yeah, I think that hit against Montescorsi there did some worse damage than he was anticipating. So he'll be either retiring or getting use of the fast repair. There's the pack of 4, that is now a pack of 2 due to that contact and damage. Definitely one for the steward's room after the race. There's Jay Corley and Craig Walters behind. Giving each other the old switcheroo and fainting options. Yep, it's all happening. So Mackenzie is now starting to gap Pasek. Arthur Fertel will be looking to squeeze by him soon. So let's jump over to those boys. Deck is still putting pressure on Arthur though, so not going to have it all his own way. Cooper and Tony Walker, these two are battling hard. Kev will be keen to try and catch them as you can see him in the distance there, but John Brown is keeping on the tail of Kev with a damaged car. Lewis Delmont and JB DeJay and Tom Woodcock are now in this train of 5 cars. And you can see the ever-weaving Jay Corley against the ever-present and stationary car of Craig Walters there. Nothing could get past Craig Walters with that kind of hijinks. There's always something going on here, isn't there? There's always something going on somewhere. It's just a case of which ones you in. Michelaj and Arthur, how are we looking here? We've got 7 minutes of the race remaining. Some close racing. So we've got the end of lap 11. Logan McKenzie in the lead with Michelaj Pasek, Arthur Fertel, Deck Crowther, Cooper Akins, Tony Walker, Kev Ayler, John Brown, Lewis Delmont, JB DeJay. Head up your top 10. So we currently have a Pro-Am of Michelaj in the lead of the Pro-Am division and second place overall. Deck Crowther, second place in class with Cooper Akers third in class. With Tony Walker hot on his tail there. But if Michelaj can get a podium here, that would be a great way to start his SRL journey for the season ahead. Laying down a marker. They're quite a long way ahead of these guys. 6 seconds for Deck to Cooper. Now the question is, the big story for this one, can Arthur get himself into the top 2? Can Arthur chase down a reverse grid 15th to first in this feature race? Mackenzie was second in the first race, so he's now in the lead, so he's made up a lot of places, but Arthur will be very keen to bring it home. No easy feat though. First you got to pass the car in front of you and then pass someone who is equally as quick as yourself. Just have a look around for any of the split sack tights. Lewis Delmont and JB DeJay side by side. Big old caved in bumper on Lewis Delmont there at the rear. Look at that. It's a work of art almost. It should be in a museum. JB DeJay just getting out of it on the inside of that final Mike Knight corner, then into final corner. Tom Woodcock is sniffing the rear of JB DeJay and then running right out into the gravel. And that's some flashy lights there from Lewis Delmont for John Brown. Oh. Not letting him by easy. We've had a lighting change. The lights are all on now for everyone's cars, as the sun is setting here at Okayama. Plenty of flashing going on now. Lewis is desperate to get past John Brown. He's like, please let me by. I'm faster than you. But John Brown, as tough and as resilient and as stubborn as he wants to be, is not going to let a young pretender by that easy. As they go too wide down the straight now. Can Delmont make it stick around hairpin? JB DeJay looking to sniff up the backside there as well. That was almost a follow through into the rear end. Tom Woodcock is just holding back here as they're too wide through Piper. I think Delmont might get the move done here. Down towards Redmond. JB DeJay is looking to get the move done. Is this going to be 2 for 1? I think he might be. John Brown's gone in hot and John Brown has gone wide. Oh. Maybe just know how he managed to do that. Either the talent ran out or the grip ran out. So let you guys decide which way that's going to be. But the amount of pressure that was being heaped on him was very high. Now Mr. Woodcock running back there in the car 69 with Craig Walters right behind him. What can they do? Can they put John Brown under pressure? Can John Brown start to go backwards? Here comes Tom Woodcock coming down the inside into first corner. Can he be later on the brakes? No, but he's got Craig Walters on his rear left quarter. Very tight there. This is a good battle. Just got to jump off there and just see how quickly Mikuláš Pasek and Arthur Fertel were doing. There's JB Dijou decides to run off on the grass there. Here comes Arthur Fertel down the back straight. We're going to have to keep an eye on 2 sets of time in here. We could do it with a split screen, which we don't have. Can Arthur go around the outside of hairpin? Can he make it stick? Honda versus Velo again. Good defensive driving there for Mikuláš. But Arthur has the switch back on the left-hand side. Good driving there. A bit of contact. Good old-fashioned touring car racing. Just door to door, window to window. And it's still not clear yet. They are still too wide. Deck is being dragged back into this battle. He's never out of it yet. But Arthur, can he get it done? I think he's just got... He has great bit of driving. Just got enough of a drive out that left-hander to get the braking zone for the right. And off he goes. Now, Logan McKenzie has got a decent lead here of 1.8 seconds. Can Arthur close that down in only 2 minutes of racing? I would probably beg to differ. We're going to jump back to John Brown and Tom Woodcock. Tom hasn't quite been able to make it stick as they start the penultimate lap. There's a right gaggle of cars here. To see other people coming over the line. There's quite a few spread out fields, so we've got to stay with the main bunch here at the moment. Is John Brown the man under pressure? Is he the man who is feeling the pressure? He has gapped Woodcock a little bit here, though. And from what I was hearing across the radios, it was a damaged car that he had. So he has got less than optimal performance. Kev is slowly gained on Woodcock. Sorry, Cooper and Tony. But these two are having a good battle. See if Tony can push him to the line. And Cooper knows how to defend extremely well. Doesn't want to defend too much because he could bring in a third party to this battle. Two's the party and three's a crowd. Do not want to be crowded out. As we come over the line, is it the white flag? Mikuláš and Deck having a good battle there. And say, you Deck sniff away and get that podium. Just trying to work out if we got the white flag. I think we did. Yeah, white flag is out. It's definitely a white flag. It never comes out for the leaders when they seem to pass it. We just flick ourselves through to see what's occurring through the field. We've got Jamie DeJay. He's got past John Brown as well earlier on, as we saw. But John Brown is looking to counter back. Can he make it work in this last lap? We go back to the leader, which is Logan, as he goes around with hairpin. Nice lead there. Mikuláš and Deck. Deck will be sniffing that podium and the outright Pro-Am win as well. Can he make it stick in his favour? Can he make it work? Deck's had a really good showing tonight. He'll be keen to get some more valuable points on the board. As they come around the final corner, here comes Logan. We'll pick up the leader. And Logan McKenzie brings home, with the flash of the lights, the feature race win. Second is Arthur Fertel as he brings it home. Mikolaj Pasek takes the Pro-Am win with Deck Crowther second. Cooper Akers brings home another podium for the JST Vroom. Closely on Tony Walker and Kev Aylett. Also all of the Pro-Ams and Lewis Delmont, another Pro-Am, and JB DeJay, another Pro-Am all comes over. John Brown, feeling a bit disappointed about 10th place there. Tom Woodcock coming home in 11th for the two pros coming home behind the Pro-Ams, and Craig Walters in 12th. Jay Corley finishing in 13th for Luke Jones in 14th. Paul Hurley in 15th and Daniel Lewis in 16th. Nick Scotney in 17th. Jack Davies has already pulled off the grid. Adam Delmont finishes off in 19th. Neil Stevenson is still running out there in 20th place, with Gabriel Bonacossi in 21st, Darren Saunders in 22nd, Chris Barnes 23rd, Jesus Alacar. If I'm right looking at my notes here, he has suffered a problem with his Moser wheel. Dan Mould retired out for the race early. He finished 25th overall. Fraser Elphick 26th, and Matthew Downs 27, all as a cause of their early accident. Well, two familiar faces in a touring car world taking home the wins. Can't ask for much more for that, really, can we? Congratulations to Logan and Arthur. They put on a great performance tonight. A real masterclass of driving through the field. Because obviously that last race they started 14th and 15th between them, and they worked their way back to first and second on the grid. Whew. Well, that was exciting. Apologies for the standing screen failing again. I don't think he likes replays anymore. So we'll still be able to get fixed and change software for next week's race. But by gosh, that was an exciting race. So much going on. So much action. We can take a look back now at a couple of incidents from that, I think, and see what we can find. So let's just jump into the replay action. So we had a Chris Barnes crash, apparently. And they just parked it up. Okay. Sometimes people just park it up and so this is a couple of run wides. Yep. I mean, the one big incident is going to be the incident at the end of this lap. It's going to be this one here. Let's have a look at this one. These guys were all battling so hard. We'll watch it all the way through from the hairpin corner down through the complex. Cooper in the JS livery. We've got Adam Delmont on the next change green livery, and in the North Racing of Gabriel Bonaccorsi. And they're just too wide. They're all the way around. They're pushing each other hard. 3 wide there. Oh, it looks like a little bit of netcode for that angle, but it's that contact. It's that secondary contact that was quite sickening as such. See if we get a different angle of this from somewhere. Let's watch it on board from Gabriel's actual angle. I don't think he can do much about it. He peels off and suddenly, doosh! Oh, just sickening. Right then. Okay. So, I hope that's been an exciting race for everybody. Certainly enjoyed it from my angles and my viewpoints of the commentary booth tonight. Thank you to all for watching and taking part in this race. Next week's race is from Mugello on Friday night. Which to date, I can never remember, is the 18th of July. If you want to take part in the SRL, head to the link that will be on the ending screen. Just give it a scan with your phone and it'll take you straight there. SRL TV is the YouTube channel. You can find all the information you need in the description there as well. I've been your host, the Average Sim Racer, and I will see you all in the same commentary booth next week for round 2 of the TCR League from Mugello. Good night. Take care. See you soon.